Man, oh man, did none of us see that coming. I mean, if I had told you a few weeks ago, hell, if I had told you a few years ago that Jinder Mahal was going to be in the main event of a pay-per-view, well, everyone would have reacted like they're actually reacting right now, meaning time in this case makes absolutely no difference. But yeah, unless you've been living under a rock and missed it, Jinder Mahal is actually the #1 contender for Randy Orton's SmackDown World title, and everyone is going crazy about it. But you know what? I'm alright with the whole situation. Why? Because you don't hinder the Jinder. And here's why. Right, first things first. Could and should WWE have done more as opposed to just picking Jinder up and throwing him into the main event out of nowhere? And the answer is, of course, yes, they should have done that. If you want to build somebody and you want to push somebody, you should probably, give them more than 2 wins before they just turn up in the main event. More or less, people don't like being surprised that much. But WWE didn't do that, and I'll be damned if I'm going to get bogged down in stuff that WWE didn't do. And besides, I'd much rather they did something like this than the opposite. And if you want to know what the opposite is, just go look at any of Jinder Mahal's career up to this point. That's the opposite of giving him a push, and frankly, wasn't helping anyone. Put it like this. There's always going to be some wrestlers that you like more than other wrestlers. That's just life. Depending on how you're wired as a human being, instinctively, you're just going to warm to different people. So with that in mind, let's move all that to the side and just agree that if you are a pro wrestler at some point in your career, you probably deserve some form of opportunity. Well, unless said person attacked you in the street or something, or stole your Skittles, I can completely understand you being upset with someone if they stole your Skittles. But I'm going to guess that 100% of the people watching this didn't have their Skittles stolen by Jinder Mahal. I mean, I didn't have my Skittles stolen by Jinder Mahal, and I'm pretty sure if any of you had your Skittles stolen by Jinder Mahal, you would have been on Reddit within minutes with a big capped headline that said, Jinder Mahal stole my Skittles. But yeah, up until this point in 2017, Jinder Mahal has basically been a glorified jobber, and his 2 highlights came as a member of 3MB or when he was in a tag team with Rusev, and neither of them are really WrestleMania main event worthy. So does this mean that we should just do the same thing over and over again just because? Absolutely not. One of the biggest problems with the WWE roster today is that so many guys don't feel like anything. They don't really feel like they're being pushed. They don't really feel like they're being buried. They just exist for the sake of existing. So when they come on TV, you don't care about them. You don't buy in. Half the time, that's when you decide you're going to go for a piss. One of my favorite things about the Attitude Era was that everybody felt important. Take somebody like Val Venus. Now, Val Venus was never in a super hot angle, but every angle he was in, I remember because they were treated as important. And yes, I am including that time that Kai and Tai threatened to chop off his pee-pee. In modern day WWE, we get things like the League of Nations or Zeb Coulter being put with Alberto Del Rio. No one cares about any of that stuff, and thusly, everybody forgets about it. Before long, it was a blip on the professional wrestling radar, and the people coming out the other side have been hurt significantly because of it. So wouldn't it be better if WWE thought to themselves, maybe a good idea would be that we try and make everybody we have here feel integral to the show. That doesn't mean you put everybody in the main event. It doesn't mean you make everybody a world title holder, but it does mean you take a little bit of time with each person and see what you can do with them going forward. The bottom line is, I appreciate them giving somebody new a chance. And if that person right now is Jinder Mahal, then damn it, Jinder, I'm behind you. The key is what happens now. I'm not going to stand here and tell you that I think Mahal feels like a credible threat. He doesn't. He's won like 1 match in 6,728 years. And him being thrown into this picture is quite ironic because it was out of nowhere and he's going against Randy Orton. But there's nothing to stop WWE from treating him right over the next few weeks and putting him with the Bollywood boys. I actually think is quite exciting. There's not enough stables on WWE TV at the moment, so if we're about to get a new one on SmackDown, that's 2 thumbs up. Furthermore, this could very well help Jinder going forward. He doesn't have to win the title, but as long as he is used the right way, when this feud is done and he drops back into the mid-card, because we'll now look at him and go, oh, Jinder Mahal's quite important. Whoever he then feuds against then will be brought up to his level, and they can feel important too, and then it's roses and flowers for everybody. You could potentially use Jinder to make another star, which coming out of my mouth sounds absolute madness, but it could happen. Probably won't happen, but now it could happen. This all ties into the bigger picture as well. Since the Superstar shake-up, the Shining Stars have dropped that name and are all serious, and just before the would-be draft, Mojo Rawley won the armbar. Now, I'm not Mojo Rawley's biggest fan, mostly because Mojo is Mojo's biggest fan, but again, I'd rather he was given something than what he had before, which if you forgot, was jack all. And that's what the company needs more as a whole. More stars, more people to believe in, and no, they're not all gonna swim. Some are gonna sink, and they're gonna sink badly, and yes, that's gonna be greeted by a bunch of people going, "I told you so!" But I'd rather the effort was made than not made, and I'd rather the risk was taken than ignored. And that's why, Jinder, I ain't gonna hinder you anymore, and to be honest, I hope you come out the back of this as a huge star, especially because if rumours are to be believed, that's what WWE has planned for you as they expand further into India. That is the third most profitable territory for the WWE after the US and the UK. So all of this just makes good business sense. And as we know, you can never argue against good business sense. I don't think so anyway. I have no idea. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know if you think we should hinder Jinder, and then like, share and subscribe, then follow What Culture on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE, and I'm there as Simon Miller 316. I am Simon from What Culture. This was the Y series. You're already mad because I supported Jinder, but I'll see you soon.
It's time, once again, for everybody to buy a magazine, please. Yes, that's right, it's issue 5 of our wonderful magazine called Wrestling, and this one is an absolute belter. As you can see from the front cover, it features a massive career retrospective of the Olympic hero, Kurt Angle. Not only that, but it's got a How WWE Should Have Booked the Entire WrestleMania 32 card, written by this 6-foot streak of charisma. The bulk of the magazine is this huge top 100 greatest WrestleMania moments of all time list. Not just that, but you've got Shawn Michaels' crimes against wrestling. You've got the top 10 greatest wrestling managers of all time. You've got columns from Jim Cornette, Tom Pritchard, Shane Douglas, and an interview with the WCPW World Champion, Drew Galloway. Issue 5 of Wrestling will be released on April 10th. You can pre-order it now at shop.whatculture.com. Oh, and about our shop, we're currently in the process of moving all of our merch to a new premises. So shipping stuff like t-shirts, that may take a little bit longer. It doesn't apply to the magazines. Once you order a magazine, we will ship it straight away. But for any other items on our shop.whatculture.com, there might be a little bit of a delay for the next few weeks. But don't let that distract you from buying Wrestling. Buy the magazine. Buy it. Buy the magazine.